Chants of "Tax the Rich" and "Free Palestine" were paired with a chorus of boos and cheers filling Kimball Recital Hall tonight. After two fiery events in Columbus and Seward earlier this year, Flood says this will be his last town hall for 2025. Recent meetings across the country, including Flood's, have been filled with protests against the Trump administration. But Flood says that wasn't going to stop him from meeting with constituents.
This is part of the process. This is the town square. Sometimes it's the loudest voices, sometimes it's some of the quietest. They're all here to take in democracy at this level, and it's my job to answer their questions.
Questions ranged from federal programming cuts to tariffs to recent ICE activity in Omaha. But the paramount concern was the recent budget reconciliation bill passed this 4th of July, the One Big Beautiful Bill. Flood, who spoke about reducing the national debt at all three of his town halls, says he stands by his vote to pass it, despite the bill increasing U.S. borrowing by about $4.1 trillion and adding $5.5 trillion to the debt over the next 10 years, according to the Congressional Budget Office. He also tried to quell concerns over Medicaid, which saw a nearly $1 trillion cut as part of that bill. But he says the $50 billion directed towards rural hospitals and several million in a state-directed payment program to support Medicaid should help with that.
If you have a vulnerable loved one that's on Medicaid, and they find it's harder to continue their services to get that free health care, and they clearly need it. That was not what I voted for. If we have to make tweaks to the implementation to make sure that those who truly need it get it, and it is not a burden to their caregiver or them, then we need to make those tweaks.
While only a handful of supporters seemed to be in attendance, one question many seemed to agree on was the release of the Epstein files, something Flood says he would support.
Obviously, you got to protect the victims. You don't want to re-victimize them. I do not want to pardon anybody that is engaged in a conspiracy or any kind of criminal enterprise to sexually traumatize and abuse adolescents, juveniles, any child.